Hola, chicas. Your season sis here with the latest episode that I am calling For the Love of Leah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. This podcast is the audio version of a blog post of the same name. If you would like to connect to the links and see the visuals from that post, go to www.r-u-the-one.com. I have sprinkled in a few new insights. Are you a fan of daytime or nighttime soaps? Do you binge watch reality TV? If being a voyeur into the dysfunction of other people thrills you, have I got a book for you. The Bible. The Old Testament in particular is that book. Today's episode, Toxic Triangle, the tale of Jacob and his two wives. It has deceit, greed, jealousy, sibling rivalry, and much more. Grab your popcorn and listen to the audible version. You don't want to get butter on the pages or screen. Jacob and Rachel usually get top billing. In this episode, For the Love of Leah, she gets the starring role. Our story begins in Genesis 29. Our focus is on Genesis 29, verses 16 through 17, New Living Translation. Now Laban had two daughters. The older daughter was named Leah. The younger one was Rachel. There was no sparkle in Leah's eyes, but Rachel had a beautiful figure and a lovely face. Different interpretations describe Leah's eyes as delicate, weak, nice, soft, lovely, tender-eyed, and plain. Every version made it clear that Leah was not as pretty as the golden child Rachel. I've heard some preachers say she had a lazy eye or was cross-eyed. Leah was always going to be first runner-up. Some scholars believe that Leah and Rachel were twins. In drawings I have seen, Leah's expression, however, does not show confidence or the belief that she is fearfully and wonderfully made. I wonder if Leah was truly ugly. Or was Rachel so stunning that Leah paled in comparison? Did Rachel receive so much praise and favor that Leah felt ugly and plain? Could this be the reason that Leah had no sparkle in her eyes? Perhaps Leah carried herself in an unattractive manner, with no smile, head down, and stooped shoulders. Poor Leah. She knew that her father did not see her as valuable enough to attract a husband. Marriage was the sole reason that daughters had worth. Jacob had to be manipulated into marrying her. Jacob worked 7 years believing he would get Rachel. On the wedding night, surprise, Leah. He then had to work 7 more years to get Rachel. To add insult to injury, she knew her husband did not want her or love her more than her sister rival, Rachel. In an artist's rendering, Leah was not grotesque. Rachel was just adorned and enhanced a little more. Knowing this family's backstory, the events that unfolded should surprise no one. Jacob's mother, Rebekah, was Laban's sister. Deception was evident in their bloodline when Rebekah goaded Jacob into cheating his brother Esau out of his inheritance by tricking their father Isaac. Leah knew her husband wasn't attracted to her, yet he still betted her. She thought having his sons would give her the love she so desperately wanted. Leah's children's names were a reminder of how unwanted she was. Instead of celebrating the birth, she focused on her misery and how unloved she was. After 3 bundles of boy, She realized that nothing she ever did would change Jacob's feelings toward her. She was not Rachel. In an audio recording of Leah and Rachel's story that was supposed to be funny, Leah had a grotesque, monster-like voice. That depiction would lead you to believe she was Quasimodo's, the Hunchback of Notre Dame's twin. I was not amused. I wonder if Alice Walker's inspiration for The Color Purple was the story of Rachel and Leah from the Old Testament. Mr. was attracted to Nettie even though she was too young. The selling points that Pa used for Celie were she was compliant, a good worker, and wouldn't dare complain. That overruled his opinion that she was ugly and spoiled due to not just one but two out of wedlock children. Never mind, Pa was the one who spoiled her. Pa did not bother to share any other of either daughter's values. Mr. didn't put on a suit, grab a bouquet, and ride over on horseback for that. Pa from The Color Purple had a counterpart in Jacob's father-in-law, Uncle Laban. Both men had ulterior motives when it came to the girl children in their homes. Laban got 14 years of free labor from Jacob. Pa got to keep Nettie to himself. Shug, Mr.'s mistress, pronounced Celie ugly before they were properly introduced. That declaration added another layer of wounds to Celie's already basement-level self-esteem. At that time, there was not a soul left who valued her. No one refuted those hurtful statements. Both of these sisters were the eldest. Being the firstborn and first daughter of my mother's children gives me a connection to these women. Instead of age being an asset, they were viewed as washed up and past their prime. Since they had not previously received marriage proposals, it was assumed they were sloppy seconds because they did not get picked in the first round. The community allowed this to reflect poorly on the women, not the men who were doing the choosing. The saying goes, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. The Temptations had a hit with the song Beauty's Only Skin Deep. I have never been called ugly to my face, yet some of the lyrics rub me the wrong way. They give backhanded compliment vibes. How would you feel if someone called into a radio station and dedicated this song to you? Some of the lyrics go like this. Good looks I learned to do without. A pretty face you may not possess. A pretty face may be some guy's taste. You have a pleasing personality, which could be interpreted as you ain't cute. Show me a girl that's fine and I'll choose true loving every time. Are these mutually exclusive? I should have known that Norman Whitfield had something to do with these lyrics. He also wrote Papa Was a Rolling Stone. The opening line of that ditty triggered lead singer Dennis Edwards, according to the Temptations miniseries. But I digress. Have you ever seen a couple where one person is deemed gorgeous while the other is regular looking? For some men and women, the priority is to have arm candy so that folks will know that you are somebody because of who you are with. Some may ask out loud, how did he get her? Assumptions made could be he must have a ton of money or status. On the flip side, the answer to the question, how she got him, could be that this regular-looking woman is beautiful to him. The comparison trap may make some of our gender feel unworthy and or unloved, like Leah and Celie. When women look to other people or institutions like marriage for validation, they are sometimes disappointed. Rivalries like that between Rachel and Leah could be thwarted if we look to the God in us for security. Perhaps you have been compared to siblings or others not because of beauty, but other attributes. Instead of them being the pretty one, they are the smart one or the talented one. Whatever the comparison, somebody or your internal monologue exclaims, "You are not enough," or "You are too much." God designed and wired you just the way He wants you. If there is a romantic partner out there for you, they will love you just the way you are. Whether or not you marry, you have value and are a blessing to many folk where you live, work, play, and worship. This is your seasoned sis saying thank you for joining me. Have you ever felt like you were competing with a beauty standard that impacted your worth? Share in the comments. Also, like, follow, subscribe, and share this podcast. Until next time, later girlies.